Hi everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel, One Book or Novel at a Time. I will continue reading to you Daw by Miracle Austin. And before I start reading chapter 11, I must tell you that I do have written permission from the author, Miracle Austin, to do these read alouds, because some authors do require authorization. And after having a conversation with the author, she has agreed and granted me permission to do so. So just a little bit about copyright laws so that you are aware of it and why we cannot just make copies of a book or sell it. Somebody gave it to you and you didn't buy it yourself. There's copyright laws that we have to follow. And a little bit of that, it says here. Daw. Copyright February 14, 2016 by Miracle Austin. This book is a work of fiction. Names, characters, places, and incidents are either the product of the author's imagination or are used fictiously. Any resemblance to actual persons, living or dead, or to actual events or locals is entirely coincidental. This book, in its entirety and in portions, is the sole property of Miracle Austin, the author. Daw, copyright 2016 by Miracle Austin. All rights reserved, including the right to reproduce this book or portions thereof in any form. No part of this text may be reproduced, transmitted, downloaded, decompiled, reverse engineered, or stored in or introduced into any information storage and retrieval system in any form or by any means, whether electronic or mechanical, without the express written permission of the author. The scanning, uploading, and distribution of this book via the internet or via any other means without the permission of the publisher is illegal and punishable by law. Please purchase only authorized electronic editions and do not participate in or encourage electronic piracy of copyrighted materials. This book is licensed for your personal enjoyment only. This book may not be resold or given away to other people. If you would like to share this book with another person, please purchase an additional copy for each recipient. If you're selling this book and did not purchase it, or it was not purchased for your use only, then please return to company from which it was obtained from and purchase your own copy. Thank you for respecting the hard work of this author. Cover art design, Mia Huddle at M Designs. That's the cover right there. Edited and formatted by ENF Indie Services. Published by Miracle Austin. Published in United States of America. And with that said, I can now continue to read to you chapter 11. We arrived and parked. Tomie, I just cannot believe what all happened today. I stared at the dangling translucent fighter jet that hung from my rear view mirror. Yeah, a crazy day. I mean, I could have avoided all of this if I had just not gone to Opal's aid today. You know? Yeah, but you did the right thing. You're right. Just didn't expect Pepper to stoop this slow. She's bad news. Always has been and always will be. I overheard Coach Evers talking about Opal's incident to another teacher in the teacher's lounge because I had to deliver and stock some supplies in the back. She didn't know I was there. Why did you find out? You little sneak. I barely made a smile. You sure? You're really okay? Yeah, I'm okay. More disappointed with my dad automatically falling for Team Pepper. But I'll be fine. Really? Yeah, girl. You know me. I ran my hand across her face. She smiled. Sari, I'm sorry. I didn't mean... Shh. No apologies. I like your touch. She winked at me and turned more to face me. I smiled back, and she bit her lower lip. I've always felt super safe around Sari, but I was feeling really weird right now, like I've never felt before. She kept staring at me, and my eyes were glued to hers. She leaned in closer to me. I followed. Our lips touched, and we started kissing. This will be our second kiss because our first kiss happened back in junior high when we played 7 Minutes of Heaven in my best friend's attic for his birthday. I recall my head bumping into hers and my upper lip getting caught in between her braces and bleeding like a running faucet down my favorite PM Dawn t-shirt. I had to be transported to the emergency room to get stitches after that kiss. I avoided kissing anyone for a long time. Yet, the second kiss with Sari was unbelievable. Her lips tasted like strawberry lemonade, and there were no wires or blood this time. I checked my lips with my tongue for the salty taste. I think the kiss lasted about 30 minutes, or at least it felt that way. Sari pulled back before I did because I was really enjoying it. I remained dateless over the years, hoping that Pepper would change her mind. I was absolutely dumb. I'd been so wrapped up in someone that would never want to be with me and thought so little of me, when all along there was someone who felt the exact opposite right in front of me. "How was that, Tomie Dupree?" she whispered. "Dang, girl, where'd you learn how to kiss like that?" Now, that information is highly classified. I could never tell you that. I scooted closer over to her. "Man, you're a really good kisser." "Thanks." She smiled as she pulled down the visor mirror to check her hair and mouth. "Hey, you know the prom is soon." "Yeah? I was wondering if you were going with anybody. Is this your best attempt at asking me to our prom?" She turned back to me finally. I laughed and looked into her big brown eyes, then cleared my throat. "Serafina Green, would you please accompany me to our junior-senior prom?" I placed both my hands on her face, tilted my head, and planted another kiss on her plump lips. "Wow! Yes! I would love to go to prom with you." "You will?" "Yes! I've always had a crush on you, even before Blake's party." "What? You never told me." "Yeah, it's always been you, Tomie Dupree. But I figured that I never had a real chance because of your ridiculous infatuation with Pepper." "Why didn't you say something earlier?" "I figured that it wouldn't have mattered because you only saw her." "Man, I'm sorry. I've been so blind." "It's okay." "No, it's not. I'm really sorry. I see you now. Sari, I see all of you." I scanned her from head to toe. "Stop it," she smiled. "It's true. Well, you're a pretty darn good kisser too yourself. Who taught you?" "Girl, you know I have natural skills." "Whatever." She leaned over and I cradled her in my arms. "You were about to tell me what you overheard in the teacher's break room before we became distracted." "Oh yeah, I heard Coach Evers tell another teacher that they had to secure the girls' locker room immediately and call the exterminator in." "Why? What was in there?" "Apparently, there were hundreds of night crawlers, earthworms, squirming all around the floor." "What?" "You heard me right." "Man, I can only guess who did that." "I know, right?" "That's why she ran out terrified and didn't care what she had on. It makes sense now. But why the night crawlers?" "I don't know. I'm sure Opal knows why. We need to get in touch with her, Tomie. Sari was right because we needed to find out. But most of all, we really needed to convince Opal to be part of our plan. We needed 3 who desire payback for Pepper. That's what my cousin had been telling me for a bit now." After about an hour, Sari shifted so she was fully in the passenger seat again, and I started the car. "Tomie, let's head to Opal's house." "Okay, I'm sure she's home because I saw her drive away earlier with someone, probably her mom." Opal looked pretty shaken up. "I bet she was. If Opal goes along with us, then Pepper is going to be in for a big surprise really soon." I turned on the radio. As I pulled out of the parking space to head down the road to Opal's house, the song "With You" by Chris Brown started playing on the radio. Sari touched my hand and she looked at me. "I so love this song, you know. Whenever I hear it, I think of you." "That's it? I'm claiming it right now." "Claiming what? This will be our song." Sari smiled and squeezed my hand. Chapter 12. We drove about 15 minutes or so before we reached Opal's little house hidden behind some large trees. She lived on a country road. The same car that picked her up from school was parked in the driveway. I parked on the side street and turned the ignition off. "Okay, what's the plan? Do you want me to go, or should we both? I think that it would be best if we went together, because her mom would most likely be willing for us to see her instead of just a guy. Sounds good, Sari. We unfastened our seatbelts, opened the doors, and walked up the short sidewalk to the front door. No lights illuminated the front yard. We heard some scratching on the roof. It grew louder, and we walked faster to the door. There was no doorbell, so I knocked on the wooden door a few times. We waited. I stared down at Sari and daydreamed about earlier. She smiled up at me as if she could read my mind. I think maybe she did because she winked at me. Before I could reply to the wink, the door opened slightly. "Yeah, what do y'all want?" asked an old lady, peeping her head full of rollers out of the partially open door. "Hi, my name is Sari, and this is Tomie. We're friends with Opal. We attend Frost High and work together." "Liars! Opal doesn't have any friends at that wicked, twisted school. Scat! And get off my property before I call the cops or do something worse to the likes of you. All I know is that you were part of that nasty little stunt that scared the you-know-what out of my girl." "Ma'am, we're so sorry about what happened, but I promise you that we had nothing to do with what happened earlier. We don't even know everything that happened yet," Sari murmured. "Like I said, the two of you just need to leave. Opal is resting, and I'm not welcoming any visitors." "We understand, ma'am. Could you please let her know that we came by and to give us a call soon?" The old lady just stared at both of us. "I'm sure Opal has our numbers, but let me just write them down," Sari said. She pulled out a receipt from her pocket. I had a pen tucked behind my ear, so I grabbed it and handed it to her. She wrote both of our cell numbers down. "Please share our numbers with Opal and let her know that it's very important that she call us soon." "Honey, child, I've never been good at making promises, but really good at breaking them though. Tell that sassy boss of hers that she won't be back to work." She grinned with decayed teeth decorating her mouth and jerked the paper from Sari's hand. The door made an awful high-pitched creaking sound as it closed. Sari and I remained on the porch in a temporary daze from our encounter with the gatekeeper. She must have been Opal's grandmom. We turned around and walked away. I walked beside Sari and opened the car door for her. I looked back and saw a curtain swaying back and forth. I think it may have been Opal watching. When I turned back towards the car, Sari had just sat down. I closed the door, hopped in on the driver's side, placed the key in the ignition, started it up, and looked both ways before pulling away from the curb. And that is the end of chapter 12. It's getting super interesting, right? What do you think it's going to happen next? Tune in to one book or novel at a time for the next reading, chapter 13 and probably 14. Thank you for being awesome listeners, and don't forget, everybody's a reader. Some of you haven't found the right book. What if this is the right book for you? Or what if this is the right genre for you? Here it is, Doll Trilogy, book 1, getting really, really suspenseful and really good. Once again, thank you for listening. Have a great day. See you on the next video. Don't forget to subscribe to One Book or Novel at a Time.